So let's go through these. It's a slog because there's so many crazy things that they're proposing here. So question, in Islam, what happens if my wife won't let me have sex with her for 6 months? Okay. So the answer is, thank you for your question. I empathize with your frustration, and I pray that you can resolve this issue with her, fulfilling mutual rights in the best way and with an open mind for mutual satisfaction. I don't want to be overbearing and give you a black and white answer that a woman should not refuse her husband. I don't want to be overbearing, for there are many areas of gray in between. I can tell you that marriage is meant to produce chastity, to aid one in overcoming temptation, and is meant for supporting one another in love and fulfilling each other's needs. Please see this beautifully detailed answer about that purpose. That being said, one cannot force one's wife to sleep with him, nor can even a judge of an Islamic court force her to do so. This requires a deep uncovering and healing of a troubled marriage, and you will have to put in some effort and sacrifice to figure out what her impediments are. Try communicating with her about the following first. Is she sick, unwell, or is it painful? Does she fear pregnancy? Can you both visit a doctor to discuss contraception? Is she tired? Because they've been married for over 6 months and they don't know about contraception. Is she tired from the daily duties and tending to the children? Is she uncomfortable with her self-image and prefers that you not see her uncovered? Is she angry with you for not being kind and helpful? Are you being kind? Are you being helpful? Do you abuse her in any way? And don't forget, there's such a thing as emotional abuse, so maybe you're abusing her. Maybe that's the problem. Are there more serious problems at play, like some kinds of addiction? Explain to her how you feel without attacking her. Instead of telling her that she will go to hell for holding out, tell her that she's beautiful and lovely and that you can't think of anything but being with her. This is more likely to get results. So you need to put in effort, blah, 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 more tips. Basically telling, maybe you're being rude, maybe you're boring, maybe you're not helping with housework enough, you're not aggressive enough. What does that mean? Don't just lay around. Women like to get up and go. They like energy. If they see you lying around watching TV, they don't want to jump on anything but the computer. Maybe you're smelly, maybe you're stinky. You're a stinky guy, so brush your teeth and shower. So, and the point is that all the onus is on the husband. Like, he's not doing something. He must be the problem somehow. And don't tell her she's going to hell. Don't shame her. Don't tell her that this is not black and white. There could be gray in between where you're just smelly. You're a stinky guy. Try taking a shower. Have you heard of a toothbrush? Have you heard of miswak? This is he's really negative. He doesn't support her in public. Okay, yeah, well, I agree. Never make fun of your wife in public. That's rude and inappropriate. He doesn't care about his looks. Are you 20 pounds overweight? Are you a fatty? That might be the problem. That might be a problem. So this, again, checked and approved by Faraz Rabbani. Okay, so this is the wife not meeting her duties. Now, I want you to contrast this with the case of the husband not doing his duties. So again, if you don't know, in Islam, there are duties and responsibilities. So a husband has the duty to provide for his wife, maintain her, feed her, protect her. These are his duties. But in return, what does he get? He gets access to intimacy. He gets her obedience, her fidelity, her chastity, her modesty. She doesn't go and mix with other guys. She doesn't allow people he doesn't like to come into his home, etc. This is the perfect balance that Islam prescribes. But she does in this answer, the Shaykha Ustaza Shazia Ahmad, she doesn't lay down the law. She doesn't say, well, actually, she has the responsibility. And that's she doesn't explain the hukum, what is the ruling in this case? She has a responsibility. She is negligent in not giving him access, not being intimate with him. She is neglecting him. And she just says, I don't want to be overbearing and give you a black and white answer. That the wife shouldn't refuse. I don't want to say that. What do you mean you don't want to say that? You have to say that. You have to clarify what the ruling is instead of putting the onus on him you're the problem. Okay, so let's compare that to this answer. What should I do with a husband who refuses to work and provide? Now contrast this answer. It's by the same ustaza, the same sheikha, answered this question. My husband of 15 years has never supported us financially except for 3 paychecks. For 10 years, I gave him an excuse that he had to serve Allah, but in the end, he just spent all these years on the net watching movies, social media, and playing video games. That's all he's been doing. He also refused to get his driver's license until 2 years ago. He would order me to drive him around, saying it was my duty to obey him. I have recited Surah Al-Ikhlas 70,000 times, salawat, blessings on the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, bismillah, and make countless dua for him. When money is tight, he sends me to food banks. He says he's just waiting on his Lord and for Imam Mahdi. I have no more respect for him. We have 6 children. What do I do? Okay, so when there's a fatwa, you just have to take the scenario as is. When you're asked a question, you take it as is. You should have like in the back of your mind, is all of this true? Like, is this portrayal actually correct? Like, or is she just emotional and she's just trashing her husband because she's mad? Or vice versa, if it's a husband asking about the wife. You should have that kind of sense of context. But let's put that aside. Let's see the answer. I empathize deeply with your struggle and pain, and I pray that your husband comes to learn what responsibility is. Until then, your patience, savviness, and trust in Allah Most High will be the backbone of the family. So then this hadith, Hind, the mother of Muawiyah, said to the Prophet ﷺ, Abu Sufyan is a miser. Am I allowed to take from his money secretly? The Prophet ﷺ said to her, you and your sons may take what is sufficient, reasonably fair. He also said, it is shockingly wicked for a person to withhold from those he is to provide for. So notice, in this answer, she's black and white. He needs to learn what responsibility is. And she cites these hadith. But when it came to the woman's responsibilities, why didn't she cite the hadith about the angels cursing the woman who refuses her husband with no good reason, no good excuse? The angels cursing her until morning. Why didn't she cite that hadith? Would that be insensitive? Would that be a little bit too harsh? You don't want to be black and white. Maybe his poor wife who is not giving him intimacy for over 6 months, like maybe she is so sad. Maybe she's depressed. You don't want to make it black and white. Are you sure it's not your fault? That's what she said to the husband. But when it comes to this woman who is married apparently to a deadbeat, she has plenty of hadith to cite. He's irresponsible. He needs to learn what responsibility is. Let's see. Appeal to his sense of honor and responsibility. Okay, so shame him. Appeal to his sense of honor and responsibility and ask him to start working for the family. Notice how in their other answer, she told the husband, talk about her feelings. Is there something bothering her? None of that in this. Just go straight for the honor. Go straight for his sense of honor and insult him, basically. I mean, she didn't say insult him, but that's the idea. Allah will grant increase in success, inshallah. Calmly and coolly help him see how much you and your children suffer. Okay, make him feel like he is a deadbeat. You're suffering, you and your children. Okay, but that poor schmuck in the previous question, he's not suffering. If that does not work, then who does your husband respect and listen to? Have a trusted friend, elder, or imam speak to him. Perhaps his parents can convince him to provide for his children. If your husband continues to neglect you and your children financially and seeing that you don't respect him, please look at your options and pray istikhara. Is he worth staying with? So already, that's on the table. Is he even worth staying with? So why? Fine. Like, I'm not saying that that's not a sensible thing. Like, if the guy is really a deadbeat, then I think, yeah, you should maybe think about going somewhere else. He's not meeting his responsibilities. He's not providing for you and your children. That is a big problem. I'm not trying to defend this guy here, by the way. I'm just pointing to the double standard. She didn't say that with the other guy. Why didn't she say to that husband, like, well, if she's not interested, then maybe you need a second wife. Maybe you need to go find a second wife. Do you really want to stay with her? Do you really want... She didn't say any of that. Even though that's equally egregious dereliction of duty, dereliction of responsibility and the marital rights. She didn't say any of this. Okay. So if leaving him is an option, you should make a plan for yourself. See how you might work a bit, sell things online, provide tutoring, or do anything that provides some money, but doesn't let the children suffer from your absence. So why doesn't she suggest anything like, maybe you're not being nice? Maybe you're kind of stinky. He doesn't want to provide for a stinky wife. Seriously, like, look at the blatant double standard. So this is fatwa. This is the exciting world of online fatwa when you're on Seeker's Guidance. So how many thousands of people, how many thousands of women see responses like this and get crazy ideas?